So again, I just wanted to share with you about how to use that radical acceptance of the moment and being present in the moment in order to then change your reality and your frame. Because if you follow those impulses of the soul and where it's leading, it will lead you to the best life, because it collapses time and space, and everything that you have ever wanted is being held for you in that fifth dimensional space. When you are there, those manifestations happen faster and faster and faster, and you feel the pull to them. You don't need to plot that course, because your soul knows, or your higher self, call it whatever you like, these higher aspects of you know the fastest path, exactly how and what is in your highest and best good. And it may not be what you think. Hey there, Alex here. Welcome to Love in Waves. I don't know what episode this is, but I'm feeling a couple of inspirations, so I'm going to do a couple of recordings. And make sure that you subscribe, because I have a really fun interview coming up really soon. Hopefully we'll drop it next week, with this couple that works with frequencies, with scalar waves and frequencies, and they measure all of our different frequencies in every area of our life, from using similar to the David Hawkins scale from 0 to 1,000. And as I'm constantly speaking about awakening and raising our level of consciousness and manifesting and bringing really heaven here to earth, embodying soul, all of these topics, it has so much to do with raising our frequency. And I want to talk about that and why. And so I'm really excited about that interview coming up. So yes, so make sure that you're subscribed. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about being really proactively aware and very present in order to shift your reality. So when you come to recognize that there's no time or space, as you move into the love frequency and moving even up anywhere from that, the more you're able to be in that fifth dimensional space, you're collapsing time and space, and you're shortening timelines from where you are and where you want to be. So manifestation gets faster as you do that. I did a couple videos back talking about the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, which are all three aspects, different perspectives of soul, levels of who we are, right? But the soul level, there's an oversoul level, and there's higher and higher and higher levels, right? But the soul levels are fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. So in that fifth dimension, there's no time or space, and there's no polarities there in terms of gender or up, down, black, white choices. Everything is just contained there at an observer level. And it's a beautiful, peaceful, harmonious, working with the laws of the universe flow. And so then your higher self can work when you're in that space. Your higher self can just literally embody your 3D, 4D self and express in the world. So you become an instrument of the soul. And so there's different radical ways that you can try to embody soul and live constantly present, but also being in the physical body. One of which is really just this deep practice of surrendering to the soul always, and really coming into tune with the binary nature of your subconscious, which is every cell in the body contains this impulse that can feel different for each person, but there's a quiet impulse that you can follow, that your body will respond to, where what you should be doing according to natural law and the soul will give one type of an impulse. And when you're going by the ego or by the small self, with just the mind that has not been sanctified through the heart, wholeheartedness, which is where we're going in that fifth dimension. If it hasn't, and it's only coming from the ego mind or the body mind, then it has a different feeling to it. And it's usually constricting. So one is going to feel more expanding and positive, and the other will feel more constricting and tight. So in surrendering to what's happening and feeling into, especially when you feel constriction, recognizing that's the ego, and then listening for the next impulse of what to do, and then taking action in the world. So again, this is collapsing duality into the fifth dimension and balancing your masculine feminine within you, your intuition coming from the feminine, and the reason and discernment coming from the masculine, and the action being taken in the world to make manifest in the 3D, in the physical world. So you're using intuition and logic, and action into the 3D world. So you're listening for the impulse, and then you're taking that action. And so that's one way, okay, to bring that deep presence. Another way is to just become radically aware. So it does require presence when you recognize yourself thinking about the past or projecting into the future. That's where most of us live. We're either looking in the rearview mirror or we're plotting our course in front of us. And most of that, or all of that really, is coming from the mind, because the past really isn't there and the future really isn't there. Now, the ego, we're not trying to kill the ego here. The ego is still important, and we need to function in the world. And there's things that we do automatically. But I think it's great to wake up in the morning and plan your day and have a direction for yourself. But just recognize in the moment to moment, since again, there's no time or space, you're actually living just frame by frame by frame. When you're aware of that, then you recognize that it's just a bunch of now moments stacked together that look like time. And it looks like space that you're moving through as you're going from moment to moment to moment. So that looks like space, okay, time and space. Any given moment, you can shift what that frame is. So when you're super aware of what's happening, yes, I planned to do this today, but what's happening right now is something else, becoming aware of that something else, and then tuning in. Okay, is my next action, this action I'm about to take, is this in alignment with the ego and feeling constricting, or is this what my soul wants me to do? Because it's bringing this to me for a reason. If it's something that's irritating and contracting and so on, can I be with that? Can I get neutral about that? Can I allow that to just be? Do I have to take a position? Because if I take a position on it and have a judgment, then that means I'm going to have to defend that or control the situation to feel peace again, or manipulate it in some way in order for me to find that equilibrium again. But if I can look at it and say, okay, this is happening for me, can I accept that first and foremost, and not judge it, not push it away, not repress it, not yell at it, not try to control it or put it in a box? And mind you, this could also be a super positive thing too, that you might want to cling to, which again is going to create fear, right? Because you're afraid of losing it. So then you want to cling and you want to control that and you want to change the circumstances around that and so on, manipulate that. So either way, it's still duality. It's still judgment first about it, and a preference of how you want it to be, and then a way to control that circumstance. So when something comes at you and you recognize it, can I be okay with it? Can I accept this moment as it is? Or can I even just be neutral about it? Can I have the courage to be neutral about it? And then, is this something that I need to look at? Is it something that I need to learn here? So allow the feelings, that's the feminine, and then go to the mind afterwards, after you've completely released whatever feelings. Don't go to the mind in the middle of the feelings, because you're just going to pull from the past and recreate the story, and that'll create more of the emotions and so on. And then you start doing the defending and the controlling and the changing circumstances outside of you, trying to change the world outside of you. That is not how you're going to change the frame. The mind, the level of mind that created the frame, then the timeline that you're on, moving from frame to frame to frame, is not the level of mind that's going to get you to a new reality or collapse those timelines and shorten the distance between where you are and your highest and best that soul wants for you. So surrendering then instead, so you get neutral, you can kind of go to the mind to learn a lesson, but really it's, okay, what is it that I'm actually impulsed to do right now? And so you start to learn how to be in flow with your day and flow with your moments and what's coming at you. Again, you can put active mind towards a direction and map it out because you want to be taking action. And then you wake up and you start taking those actions. And then life is going to deliver everything to you. And so you become, again, really, really hyper responsible for the quality of your life, what's happening, what's coming to you, the inspirations that are coming, the lessons that you're learning, and you are collapsing time, and you're working with the mind and the heart in coherence together. So a quick tip on how you can also come into this type of a presence is just around breathing. If you're super stressed, like really, really stressed, a pause breath is super helpful to bring you back into the parasympathetic nervous system. Because when you're dysregulated and angry and so on, and you're just, but you don't want to push it out at anybody or stuff it down, This is when just some pause breaths can be really, really helpful. And that would just be a deep breath in the belly and then bring it up to the chest and then give it 2 seconds of rest at the top and then release. So it's in the belly, up to the chest, hold for 2 seconds, and then release it out, all through the nose. Okay, if you can, through in and out of the nose. And do this just a few times to help calm the nervous system down. If you've ever done the breath where you breathe in the one side of the nostril and then the other, that's a great one. I'm not going to go into teaching that right here now, but that's another one to help balance the brain. So one is the heart and the brain, and then the other is the right and left hemisphere, where you breathe in and out through one side of the nostril and then the other side of the nostril. And there's even a mudra around it and how to hold the hand and so on. You can look that up on YouTube for sure. Nose breathing or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. Anyway, that's another breath that you can do. And then a third one is heart-centered breathing, which is actually to bring the brain and the heart into coherence. And that is to breathe 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out, and even longer if you can, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. It's basically like a circular breath in and out through the nose, but as if you're breathing through the heart. And when you're doing this, 5 seconds in through the heart, 5 seconds out, you want to pull to mind something that really, really fills your heart. So perhaps if you have children, you can, like for me, I picture myself nursing my children. I mean, it was like some of the most incredible heart love feeling, oxytocin generating amazingness that I could ever feel was when I was nursing my babies. And so that's often where I'll go in my mind. Sometimes I just see them playing around or so on. So there's just different things that might bring for you that wholehearted feeling of just love, 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 love. And try not to attach it to a person who also brings you any strife, because that can make it a little bit more difficult, but just something else, an experience or something that that you just know you can return to. And you kind of piggyback on that feeling as you're breathing through the heart. Okay, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. And you do that and actually brings a coherence between the brain and the heart. So, so helpful. It brings you totally present and just fills you and raises your level of consciousness right away into that beautiful space. It's just a really, really wonderful thing to do. And then also just taking a few minutes of contemplative or completely no mind type of meditation, just to sit for a few minutes, also to calm down when something triggers you and you feel your ego kicking up and you're wanting to be more aware of what's coming to you, to become more accepting. If you're in those lower, more dysregulated states, you can do something like that in order to just get yourself to neutral. Then you can start reaching for the love or higher states from there. So just a few tips there to help you out with this process. So again, I just wanted to share with you about how to use that radical acceptance of the moment and being present in the moment in order to then change your reality and your frame. Because if you follow those impulses of the soul and where it's leading, it will lead you to the best life, because it collapses time and space, and everything that you have ever wanted is being held for you in that fifth dimensional space. When you are there, those manifestations happen faster and faster and faster, and you feel the pull to them. You don't need to plot that course, because your soul knows, or your higher self, call it whatever you like, these higher aspects of you know the fastest path, exactly how and what is in your highest and best good. And it may not be what you think. It may not be what you think or how you think. And so you're going to continue to live life coming at you until you align with that. So it's a deep surrender, but it's also a coming to relationship with your higher self. Some people want to give it a name, or they want to reach and have this be the relationship with an ascended master or something, Jesus or someone, or Buddha, whatever you want to do that, but it's within you. Just know these are aspects of us. We're all one, and these are all aspects of us, just like everything coming at you or to you, for you, are disembodied aspects of you that are embodied in other ways that are coming there for you. So it's that bringing awareness to that, taking a look, leaning in, asking some questions about it, and then moving up that spiral to the life you want. That's how you shift reality in the moment. That's how you can live totally on purpose and in alignment in the now. but it takes practice, 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 and self-responsibility for what's happening in your life. So I hope that this helps you today, gives you a few tips on living in this way. There's a lot happening in the world. It's a freaking crazy show out there. And if you're finding yourself being triggered, these are the types of things that are going to really, really, really shift your life quickly and give you a different way of walking through this crazy world where it's not as difficult. You become more and more accepting of all of these things that are happening, and you can actually come to a space where you just don't judge it anymore. You recognize that there's, even as crazy as it is, there is a balance that's happening right all around us, but you're also choosing to be on a specific path of seeing things from a higher perspective, more awareness, more awareness, more awareness. And that's what the whole scale of consciousness is. Consciousness is awareness. You don't want to be in ignorance. That's where all the suffering is, and that's where you can be programmed by all the stuff that's coming out from outside of us, and our limiting beliefs will keep us limited in our living and keeps us constantly wanting things to be different or better. And then again, controlling everything around us. And oh my God, it's way too much work. So much more work to just, or so much less work to just let this stuff go and start floating naturally to your natural state of being. You're unbecoming all of the things that have been weighing you down and keeping you from your soul living, and you're levitating into who you really are as you are embodying that soul and becoming that instrument of the soul. It is so beautiful. It's just amazing. So I hope this helps you today. Give me a thumbs up and some comments if you like. I'd love for this to get out to more people. We're starting to grow the channel a little bit, and your help is so appreciated. And I hope that you have a really great rest of your day. And again, doing that interview this week. So some more good stuff coming, hopefully right around the corner. All right. See you.